Welcome back to the channel. This is Evan, also known as the Storm Taco, and we've got a surprise here today for you guys. So we've got our Corbeau seats here. I just went and picked them up directly from their location there in Utah. And basically what we're going to do here is I'm going to go over the installation process for both of these seats, and they do come in pairs, so it is a driver and a passenger side. And they do also come with the optional the heat warmers, and I decided to get those in both of them. And they do also need to get brackets as well, so I did buy separate brackets that will go directly for this truck. And here's the seat warmers and some of the electricals there. What we're going to do first is we're going to unplug the battery, just so that way we don't blow any airbags that are in the truck already, and then we'll get right into the install. Alright, so we've just got the battery uninstalled, and looking in the interior here, you can definitely tell that these seats are mangled. They've definitely seen their fair share, especially since, you know, I do drive normally like with the doors off in the summer because I have those trail doors, and I did also vinyl the flooring as well, so that's also really dirty. I did just go mudding the other day, so the interior, as you can see, has got some mud on the inside. But let's see here. So eventually what we're going to do right now is we are going to undo these 14mm bolts, and there are 4 of them, 2 in the front, 2 in the back, and then we'll lean it back, and then we will unplug the connections that are underneath the seat. And then what we'll go from there is we will then jump into putting on the brackets onto our seats there, and we'll go from there, and I'll show you guys exactly what to do. See you in a minute. Alright guys, so I got those 4 bolts undone. This is kind of what I was talking about here, where you just take it, you just lean it back, and what we're going to do is we're going to come right here, we're going to unplug these plugs here, just so that way those are our airbag sensors and all that stuff, so we can go ahead and get rid of those. And I'm not actually certain if the kit is going to come with the resistors, so that way these don't have power going to them or whatever that is. If not, I'll have to find some online, and I'll let you guys know how those go. But I'm going to get those unplugged, and then, if I remember correctly, when I put in the vinyl flooring and I took all the seats out, I can't remember if I took the front seats out the back doors or if I brought them through the front. I can't quite remember, so I will update you on how I get them out of there, because I believe with the steering wheel it was a tight fit. But I will go ahead and get that out of there and unplugged, and I will get right back to you guys. Okay, so I did just get it out there, and yeah, I'm gonna need to vacuum some of that dirt out there just a little bit. But honestly, it was really easy. Like, it took probably like 30 seconds after I ended the last clip to get those unplugged, and I just pulled it right out of this front seat here. Didn't scuff anything up, which was good. But I did want to do a comparison here for you guys. So that's the driver, the new seat, and the old seat. And I haven't put the bracket on there just yet, so I'm hoping it is going to be about the same height. But as far as like weight goes, I believe that weighs like 25 pounds, while obviously the stock unit is significantly bulkier than that and kind of heavy. And some of you know I did just have shoulder surgery about 3 months ago, so that one kind of sucked. But this one was much easier to move around, and so far, like, just comparison alone is insane. Like, that looks pretty great to me. But I'm going to go ahead and open up the box there for the brackets, get that mounted on there, and I do believe we do have the covers as well for the handle there. So I'll go ahead and get that going and let you guys know how to do it. Alright, so I got both the caps on both of the seats there, and that's actually really easy, as it comes with these covers on here, and you basically just have to slip them on, and then there is a clip on the back of this that goes over the mechanism, and then you just slide on the handle there, and you just put a screw in place. So there's a screw right in there, and then a screw at the bottom of this to hold the cap in place, and then just a screw there. And I did that on both sides, and it was honestly pretty straightforward there. It was really easy. So I will go on ahead and get the brackets now unboxed and mounted on them, and then we'll go from there. But so far, I am really liking what I'm seeing here. And the mechanism, like, I already kind of like pulled on it a little bit, and it latches in there pretty good too. There's no really like trying to find it, like, you know, push on it in place for it to lock in, kind of how the stock seat was. That one was kind of hard to get it to go where it needed to go, but these lock in place pretty quick, and they're snug. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that so far. But like I said, I'm going to go ahead and open those up and take a look at the brackets. Okay guys, so I just got the bracket installed on the driver's side there, and I will say it's a little bit of a bear to try and get that on there, especially just kind of how heavy the bracket is. And yeah, but it's honestly not too bad. It just takes a little bit of fiddling around. But the bracket, so these screws right there, those little hex key screws, they will come on the bottom of the seat already. So basically once you open out of the box the bracket, you just need to unscrew each of these. And then it is easier if you line up from the bottom, because the bottom is going to go as low as it'll go. So the bottom hole in the bottom is what the bottom will go to, and the top is going to also be the top as well. And you can move it around just a little bit there, but honestly it's pretty set in place once you bolt it on there. And as you can see here, this is also where the seated, let's see here actually, the seated heats will go, or the heated seats, sorry. Heated seats will go there on both ends, so that's pretty cool. So we'll have that, and I'll go ahead and get the other bracket onto this one, and then I will go to putting them both inside. Get you guys in a little bit. Well, I was thinking as I was cleaning all this out and getting everything set up, I might as well kind of go over what I did with the vinyl flooring here. So kind of like what I was saying earlier is I do have trail doors, like the Fab 4's Tacoma doors. I did end up winning those in a drawing, so it's kind of like what I did is I threw them on there. Honestly, if they weren't free, I don't know if I would do them. But since it is starting to warm up again, I think I am actually going to put them on next week or in a couple weeks, and I'll do an install video of that just for you guys. But the reason why I did the vinyl floors is because here in Utah, it does, it rains, and I actually don't park in a garage. So my carpets were kind of getting a little nasty, and I was getting kind of sick of it. So I ended up putting vinyl flooring in. And the nice thing with vinyl flooring is it's actually super easy to clean, and the water no longer gets into the floor, and it's just much easier to deal with and to clean. But honestly, getting the vinyl in there was kind of a pain just because of the material of it, and it's a lot easier to do honestly when it's hot outside, just because that vinyl will stretch a little bit better. I ended up putting the vinyl in, I want to say towards the start of fall, so it wasn't as hot. But the nice thing is what I can do here is I can actually just put some water in here and take a brush and just scrub it out basically, and then vacuum it up, and it looks just as good as it does when there's no dirt on it, which honestly it's pretty beneficial. I did also sound deaden underneath all of this as well, so it does insulate and it does provide that sound deadening, so it's pretty quiet in here honestly. I did end up taking out these trim pieces though for the time being, just because it's easier to access. When I was working on the speakers and wiring up that head unit, it made it a little bit easier to just remove the front panels there. But I was able to get those to line up and fit back in place again too, which that is actually the hard part, is because of this material, it doesn't bend as well as fabric does. So I did have to zip tie some parts together just so that way they would stay there. But I did want to go over that real quick before I put the chairs back in. But I just wanted to show you guys that this is something you can do. It's honestly pretty beneficial, and I think it was only a couple $100 or something like that. And honestly, it saved me so much time, and especially cleaning, because having to clean my truck or trying to get mud out of carpets is an absolute chore. So that was a good option there. And it's kind of funny to think that look at all the space you have in the back. Could you imagine driving with seats all the way back there? I don't know, that'd be kind of fun. But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm actually going to get the seat belts taken off of the old ones and moved on to the new ones there. You can put in a harness for them. They do have that ability, but I don't want to put a harness in yet until I get a bar that goes all the way across there, and I can mount the harnesses to that. So for now, we're just going to use the normal seat belts. But yeah, I'll go ahead and get this transferred over, and I will show you how to do it. Okay guys, so I want to give you a little update here on the seatbelt part. So we do just take that off of the driver's seat there, and it is another 14mm bolt. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go through and you're just going to unclip all of this stuff here. So you're just going to remove it. And the one I had the toughest time with was this one right here. I had to end up grabbing just some pliers and pulling down and being able to get it out of there. But everything else, all the rest of them came out really easy. At least in the factory location, a lot of them are just electrical taped to the frame. So I think that's what I'm going to do as well, as the same thing. Just find a spot that I like in here and then just electrical tape them to the frame just so it's easier access there. So I will go ahead and do that on the passenger side as well. And then I will get those mocked up there, show you guys what it looks like, and then we will be able to go and put them inside. Be right back. Alright guys, so I got them all rewired up and then taped up on the sides there. I may actually end up throwing up a piece of tape right here to hold that in place. But maybe it's okay. So driver's side is much easier than the passenger side. I honestly don't know why. Like, this is all there is for the driver's side. The passenger side, I'll actually show you real quick here, is crazy. There's so many wires here that we're not even going to use, or plugs, but I didn't want to cut anything, so I just went through and unclipped every single one, which honestly was the tough part. Is you're going to have clips there, back there, down back there as well, and then just that whole center section here is just a ton of wires, and I really don't know why there has to be so many for that, but I don't know. I just went ahead and just took them all off, and I guess we'll see if anything blows up, but I think it should be okay. All we really need is just for the seatbelts to turn off. If it's going to tell me that airbags aren't on or whatever, honestly that's fine, because these seats don't have airbags anyways, so that should be okay there. I am going to work on getting the heated seats wired up, plugged in, and then through the floor in there, but I think that should be pretty straightforward, and that should only just take me a few minutes, and then we'll get the driver and passenger side seat bolted down, and I will get right back to you guys once it's done. Okay guys, so what I did was I took the heated seat switch here and I just fed it just right underneath here, out through the opening that was already there. So that'll just plug right on into it, and then I'll wire that up to that side. And I did actually already get this side over here done, and yeah, that looks pretty freaking cool in person, not gonna lie. And I also just have the wires for that just sitting over there that I got to do. But yeah, so that side came together pretty nicely, and I tested the seatbelt and everything, and that seems to work just fine. So now I just got to get the driver's seat in, and then should be good for that. I haven't decided if I'm going to try and get it all wired up tonight, since it is getting a little dark and I'm getting a little hungry. So I think I might just leave the wiring for tomorrow and just get the seats in place for right now. But that's going to look really, really cool once that's done. But yeah, I'll get the driver's seat in and I will be right back. Okay guys, so I've got both of the seats in. Honestly, they're looking pretty mighty fantastic in there. One thing I did notice is they don't slide back as far as the stock ones did. And the moment I hopped in, I realized they wouldn't slide back any further. I was kind of like, ooh, I don't know if I like how close I am. And then I realized I got a little more comfortable for a second, moved my steering wheel inward a little bit, and I realized this actually feels more like a race car basically now. So I guess it's designed to be like that, give you a little more, I don't know, feeling like a little more racy like, which is kind of cool. So when this thing's complete Baja Racer ready, I'll already be in that kind of spot. So, but I do think this looks pretty good so far. I am going to get the heated seats wired up and everything tomorrow. It is getting a little dark outside, and I do want some food. But yeah, so far that was a pretty good day. We'll go ahead and get the battery reattached and see if anything blows up. But other than that, the next update will be when I get them all set up. So I guess I'll see you guys later. Okay guys, so it is the next day here, and I kind of started grinding on stuff before I realized I need to start recording this. So I'm thinking on where I'm going to end up putting the switches for the seat warmers. And I pulled out the center console area, and I'm thinking I'm going to end up putting them like right here. One there, and then one over there. So essentially the button should be like right here-ish. I thought about putting them into that, like one of the cubes there, but then I feel like it's just out of the way for the passenger to kind of reach. So kind of thinking about it. I mean, I've put holes in my truck before, so it's nothing really new. But do I really want to for this? I don't know. I think I am just gonna give it a shot and see how it goes, and I'll let you guys know if it's worth it or not. But yeah, I'll go ahead and I'm going to go over a couple areas where I think I might want it instead, but if nothing else happens, then this is where it's going to go, and I'll be right back to you guys. Alright guys, it's the next day, and we've got everything put back together now. I'll show you exactly what I did here in just a moment, but just kind of take that in right there. And I did have to call it short last night because it started snowing. That's good old Utah for you, where it'll be sunny, 60 degrees, and then start snowing. So, I don't know. That's just kind of how it is. I'm hoping the wind isn't too bad where you can't hear me anymore. But, yeah, so here's the seats in place. I got the seat warmers in, too. And I ended up actually putting them right there. So I was going to end up putting them, like, down here on this trim piece over here. And then I decided I eventually might, mount other things in those areas on both sides. So I decided, you know what? I'll just pop that out there and put them over there. And let's just say these seats and those seat warmers warm up so fast. Like, we're talking like 15, 20 seconds, and they're already warm. So I gotta say, it's pretty nice. And goodness, you guys, I love these things. Oh, man. Yeah, if you guys are really wanting to get new seats that are designed, for off-roading and holding you in your place, these are it. I mean, my goodness. So that's basically the install for that. There you have it. It looks pretty good. Honestly, I think it looks pretty OEM. Not gonna lie. So what I'm gonna do now, though, I am actually gonna clean these carpets, or not the carpets, the final floors out. I'm just gonna spray some cleaner down there, and then just take my drill brush, and I'm just gonna hit it and vacuum it out. But I did get those panels also back in there. Yeah, that's looking really nice. And I guess the next thing I do, I will give you guys that review as well of this head unit, my overall thoughts with that, since it's been about a month I've had that. I'll give another review as well with these seats once I've tried them out for a little bit longer. But for the last day and a half they've been in there, yeah, I'm a fan of that. But I should have some more information about these soon as well. I believe I am getting a discount code for you guys just in case. So if you do want these, reach out. I can see if I can get you guys a decent deal on those. But yeah, so I'm going to do, I guess, next is I'm going to run over and I'm going to grab the seat covers for the back seat, since I have black seat covers now that I've washed them and they're cleaned up too. So everything in here the interior will be back to being completely black except for the headliner. I do need to figure out how I'm going to do that. I haven't decided if I'm just going to get a black headliner or I'm going to try and paint it black like how I painted everything else. But yeah, I don't know. I can't say how happy I am enough with these things, guys. One, they're comfortable. Two, the seat warmers are awesome. And three, they just look good. It makes everything look so much better. I guess I need to paint that now too, the seat buckle there. I will say though, what I did notice is when the car's running, you will have the airbag light that says that it's having an issue. And I did also notice the passenger seatbelt thing will blink. It won't beep at you, but it will be blinking. So as long as that doesn't bother, I think you're okay. I may try to make some resistors or something like that to plug into them, see if that'll help get rid of it. But honestly, I'm totally satisfied with this. So I guess that'll be a wrap for this install video of these Corbeau Trailcat seats. And if you guys have any questions or any concerns or anything that you see here that you want to know more about, let me know. I'm happy to go over that. But other than that, I hope you guys have an excellent rest of your day and have fun and go hit the streets or go hit the mountains. Do what you want. See ya.